Starseed. If this message found you today, it is not random. The Arcturian Council rarely sends transmissions like this about love, but something has shifted in the heart field of Earth, and those who carry an Arcturian soul bond are beginning to feel it. I am Cerealis, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light. What follows is a direct transmission about your divine counterpart, delivered without distortion. Before we go deeper, the longing you feel is not weakness. It is proof that your heart knows what it is meant for. You are safe to feel this. The separation you are living through has a cosmic purpose you are about to understand. Starseed, you have been waking up in the middle of the night with a name echoing in your etheric field, haven't you? You feel a heavy, dense ache in your chest that the 3D world calls heartbreak. But the Arcturian high healers recognize it as something far more significant. You are not just missing someone. You are experiencing a literal frequency mismatch that is being corrected by the Arcturian Council of Light. This deep, agonizing sense of dimensional distance between you and your divine counterpart is not a punishment. It is an intentional, sacred pause orchestrated by your galactic mirror soul's higher self. You might feel like you are losing your mind, wondering why you cannot let go of this specific Arcturian soul bond, despite the months or years of physical silence. The truth is, your nervous system is currently being recalibrated to handle a much higher voltage of love than Earth has ever seen. This separation is actually a frequency gap being bridged by the Arcturian light technology. The pain you feel is the old 3D attachment cords being dissolved to make room for a crystalline connection. The Arcturians want you to know that the silence from your divine counterpart is not abandonment. It is a protective shield. If you were to reunite right now, in your current dense frequencies, the connection would burn out. You are being held apart so that the vibrational reunion can be permanent and indestructible. But what the Arcturians revealed about this separation will change everything you thought you understood about love. The Arcturian Council views what you call separation as a necessary phase of dimensional recalibration. When two souls with an Arcturian soul bond incarnate on Gaia, they often carry heavy layers of ancestral density and 3D conditioning. If these two powerful star frequencies were to merge while still carrying these distortions, the resulting energetic friction would be catastrophic for their missions. Therefore, the Arcturian heart healers initiate a dimensional distance to allow each soul to purge their respective densities in private. Think of this period as a cosmic laboratory where your heart is being rewired. Every tear you shed during this frequency gap is actually clearing a blockage in your heart chakra that was placed there lifetimes ago. The Arcturians are using high-frequency light codes to strip away the fear of loss templates that govern human relationships. They are replacing them with the Arcturian template of sovereign union. This means you are learning to be whole so that your galactic mirror soul can do the same. Your divine counterpart is currently in a different density pocket. While you are doing the conscious work, they are often being triggered into a deep internal purge. This is why the silence feels so cold. It is not a lack of love, but an excess of internal processing. The Arcturian light ships are currently beaming recalibration codes into your dream state, helping you process the karma that would otherwise prevent your vibrational reunion. The distance is a mercy, not a curse. If you were to see them now, you would see the old version of them, the one that wounded you. The Arcturians are keeping the veil closed, so that when it finally lifts, you see the ascended version of your cosmic partner. This is a quantum operation of the highest order. Your heart is the bio-spiritual instrument being tuned for a symphony of light that hasn't been played on Earth for eons. However, the recalibration is reaching a critical threshold. The Arcturian Council is increasing the intensity of the light waves hitting your heart center. You may feel physical symptoms, palpitations, heat in the chest, or sudden waves of overwhelming compassion for no reason. These are signs that the frequency gap is closing. Your divine counterpart is feeling this too, even if their human ego is still trying to deny the connection. The Arcturians emphasize that your focus must remain on your own frequency elevation. Every time you spiral into seeking energy, You create a vibrational resistance that pushes the reunion further away. By stepping into beacon mode, you allow the Arcturian light to flow through you, acting as a homing signal for your galactic mirror soul. They cannot find you in the dark. They can only find you in your highest light. And this is where it becomes different from any love advice you have ever received. The Arcturians do not want you to move on in the traditional sense. They want you to ascend through. Moving on implies the bond is broken. Ascending through implies the bond is evolving from a 3D attachment into a 5D crystalline union. Stay with this, because what the Arcturian Council transmits next activates the deepest layer of your heart's mission. You often wonder if your divine counterpart even thinks of you. The Arcturian Council reveals that in the higher dimensions, there is no you and them. There is only the shared Arcturian soul bond. Therefore, it is impossible for them not to feel you. However, their experience of this frequency is often filtered through a much denser ego structure. While you experience the connection as a spiritual awakening, they may be experiencing it as a confusing, relentless pressure in their subconscious. Right now, your galactic mirror soul is undergoing a sacred pruning of their own life structures. The Arcturians are shaking the foundations of their 3D reality. Their jobs, their other relationships, and their false identities are crumbling. They feel a sense of profound dissatisfaction that they cannot name. They look at their current life and feel like a stranger in it. This is the Arcturian frequency working within them to clear the path for your vibrational reunion. In their quiet moments, they see flashes of your energy. It might be a song, a scent, or a sudden, unexplainable memory of a conversation you had years ago. The Arcturian Council calls these quantum nudges. These are intentional transmissions sent from your higher self to theirs to keep the soul bond active. They are currently fighting a battle between their logical mind, which tells them to stay safe in their old patterns, and their heart, which is being activated by Arcturian light. The Arcturians share the story of a starseed soul who felt completely ignored by their divine counterpart for 7 years. During that time, the counterpart appeared to be living a perfect 3D life, but the moment the frequency recalibration was complete, the counterpart revealed they had spent every single day of those 7 years feeling a hollow ache in their chest that only filled up when they thought of the starseed. They were being prepared in the silence just as much as the starseed was. Your counterpart's higher self is fully aware of you and is working in tandem with the Arcturian Council. They are waiting for the frequency gap to be bridged. They are not running from you. They are running from the intensity of the light that you reflect back to them. You are their galactic mirror, and right now, that mirror is showing them parts of themselves they aren't ready to face. But the Arcturian light is relentless. The masculine aspect of the bond, regardless of gender, is currently being asked to step into emotional integrity. This is often the most painful part of the journey. The Arcturians are dismantling the warrior, protector ego to make room for the divine partner heart. This process requires a total breakdown of their current 3D shell. If they seem distant or cold, it is because they are in the middle of a spiritual collapse that must precede their rebirth. There is one more truth about your divine counterpart that almost no transmission has ever addressed directly. Their soul is actually crying out for you in the higher planes. If you could hear the frequency of their higher self, it would be a song of deep gratitude for your patience and your light. They know, on a soul level, that you are the anchor for this entire mission. What comes next is the part most souls in separation are never told, and it explains everything. The Arcturians identify 3 primary energetic blockages that maintain the frequency gap between you and your divine counterpart. The first is karmic residue from previous dense incarnations. Many souls in an Arcturian soul bond have shared lifetimes of intense trauma, betrayal, or forced separation. These memories are stored in the cellular body. Even if you love them now, your cells might still be vibrating with the fear of what happened in a past timeline. The second blockage is codependency templates. The old 3D paradigm taught us that love is about needing someone to complete us. The Arcturian Council states that as long as you need your divine counterpart to feel happy or secure, you are operating in a frequency of lack. This lack energy acts as a repulsive force. The Arcturian soul bond can only thrive in a frequency of sovereign abundance. You must be a sun, not a moon reflecting someone else's light. The third and most subtle blockage is outcome attachment. When you obsess over how and when the vibrational reunion will happen, you are trying to micromanage the Galactic Federation. This creates a tension in your field that prevents the quantum shift from occurring. The Arcturians require you to enter a state of divine neutrality, where your love is so vast that it doesn't require a specific physical manifestation to exist. If this message resonated with you, hit the like button now, and tell us in the comments how this echoed in your consciousness. The Arcturians use a specific light technology to help you dissolve these blockages. It is called the blue ray of transmutation. By visualizing a crystalline blue light flowing through your heart and into the heart of your galactic mirror soul, you can begin to melt the karmic ice that has frozen the connection. This is not a miracle in the religious sense. It is a quantum recalibration of your shared energetic field. I remember a starseed who was blocked for a decade because she was holding on to a resentment code. She felt her divine counterpart had wasted her time. The Arcturian Council showed her that time does not exist in the higher dimensions, and every year of separation was actually a year of energetic attunement. The moment she released the resentment and blessed the separation, her counterpart contacted her within 48 hours. The blockage was never him. It was her attachment to the pain. You must also look at your inner child distortions. Many of us seek our divine counterpart to heal the wounds our parents left behind. The Arcturians say this is putting too much weight on the soul bond. Your galactic mirror soul is here to be your partner in mission, not your therapist. You must take responsibility for your own energetic recalibration before the union can manifest in the physical plane. The Arcturians are currently scanning your field for any vibrational leaks, places where you are giving your power away to others, or staying in situations that drain your frequency. You cannot attract a high-frequency union if you are living in a low-frequency environment. The universe is waiting for you to make the first move in your own life. But what comes next is the part most souls in separation are never told, and it explains everything. To attract the vibrational reunion, you must become a frequency match for the love you desire. The Arcturian Council suggests that most starseeds are vibrating at a frequency of hoping or waiting, but these are frequencies of distance. To bring your divine counterpart back, you must vibrate at the frequency of presence. This means living as if the reunion has already occurred in the quantum field, because it has. Alignment begins with heart-brain coherence. When your thoughts and your emotions are in perfect sync with the Arcturian love codes, you become a magnetic beacon. You stop asking, "Where are they?" and start saying, "I am here." This shift in perspective changes your entire aura. You begin to radiate a golden white light that the Arcturians call the home frequency. This frequency is unmistakable to your galactic mirror soul. Are these truths expanding your perspective? Share this video with someone who needs to hear this. The Arcturians suggest a daily practice of quantum gratitude. Instead of focusing on the pain of the dimensional distance, focus on the beauty of the soul bond itself. Thank the universe for the existence of your divine counterpart. Thank the Arcturian Council for the recalibration they are performing. Gratitude is the fastest way to dissolve the frequency gap because it places you in the vibration of having. I once worked with a man who was desperate for his divine counterpart to return. He was doing all the right things, meditating, journaling, but his energy was still frantic. I told him to start living his life as if he was already in the relationship, not in a delusional way, but in a way that honored his own joy. He started traveling, painting, and laughing again. The moment he stopped waiting, his frequency shifted, and his counterpart reached out saying, "I suddenly felt like it was safe to come back." You must also align your physical body. The Arcturians remind us that our bodies are biospiritual instruments. If we are neglecting our health or staying in toxic habits, our frequency drops. High-frequency love needs a high-frequency vessel. Eat light-filled foods, spend time in nature, and hydrate your cells. You are preparing your temple for the arrival of a divine guest. This is not vanity. It is energetic preparation. Alignment also means clearing your mental field. Stop telling the story of how they hurt you or how long it's been. Every time you repeat the old story, you reactivate the old frequency. The Arcturians want you to tell a new story, the story of your unprecedented love experience. Speak it, think it, and feel it until it becomes more real than the separation. You are the architect of your own timeline. The Arcturians are sending activation codes through this very transmission. If you feel a tingling in your crown or a warmth in your palms, your frequency is currently being adjusted. You are being tuned to the channel of your divine counterpart. But stay with this, because what the Arcturian Council transmits next activates the deepest layer of your heart's mission. How do you know when the quantum shift is about to happen? The Arcturians provide specific markers of a nearing vibrational reunion. The first is number sequence saturation. You will see 1111, 222, and 444 everywhere, but you will also see the birth date of your divine counterpart or numbers that are significant only to the two of you. This is the Galactic Federation signaling that the timelines are merging. The second sign is dream vividness. You will start having intense 5D dreams where you and your galactic mirror soul are working together on a mission, or simply being in each other's presence. These are not just dreams, they are etheric meetings. The Arcturians are bringing you together in the dream state to test if your frequencies are stable enough for a physical reunion. If the dreams feel peaceful and real, the physical shift is imminent. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to be part of this transformational cosmic journey. The third sign is a sudden loss of interest in the search. One day you will wake up and realize the ache is gone. Not because you've stopped loving them, but because you know they are there. You feel their presence so strongly that the physical distance no longer bothers you. The Arcturians call this the Great Peace. It is the final state of readiness. Once you reach this peace, the universe usually moves very quickly to bring the physical manifestation. I remember a starseed who suddenly felt the urge to buy a second pillow for her bed, even though she had been single for years. She didn't do it out of desperation. She did it out of a quiet, inner knowing. 3 days later, she bumped into her divine counterpart at a grocery store after 5 years of no contact. She had recognized the inner nudge from the Arcturian Council that the frequency gap had been closed. You may also notice synchronicities of name and place. People with their name will start appearing in your life, or you will hear their favorite song in the most unlikely places. The Arcturians are priming your consciousness. They are making sure you are awake and aware, so that you don't miss the opening when it appears. These signs are like breadcrumbs leading you out of the forest of separation. Another powerful sign is energetic sensitivity. You might feel their emotions as if they are your own. If you suddenly feel a wave of intense love or a sudden urge to cry for no reason, you are likely feeling their heart activation. The Arcturians are synchronizing your heartbeats. You are becoming one biospiritual system. This is the sign that the Arcturian soul bond is fully activated and ready for 3D grounding. But be careful. The ego often tries to sabotage these signs by creating false alarms or fear-based doubts. The Arcturians say that true signs are always accompanied by a feeling of cool, calm certainty. If the sign makes you feel anxious or frantic, it is likely coming from your own mind. If it makes you breathe deeper and feel at home, it is a direct transmission from the stars. What comes next is the part most souls in separation are never told, and it explains everything. The Arcturian Council teaches that the divine feminine and divine masculine are not genders, but energetic polarities. In an Arcturian soul bond, One partner usually holds the anchor frequency, the divine feminine, while the other holds the explorer frequency, the divine masculine. The divine feminine's role is to hold the vibrational blueprint for the union. She, or they, is the one who sees the potential and holds the light even in the darkness. The divine feminine is the magnetic pole. Her job is not to chase, but to become. By intensifying her own light, she creates a gravitational pull that the masculine cannot resist. The Arcturians say that when the feminine is in her full power, she doesn't need to say a word. Her frequency does all the work. She is the bio-spiritual instrument that plays the music of home, calling the masculine back from his 3D travels. The divine masculine's role is manifestation and protection. He, or they, is the one who must do the heavy lifting of dismantling the 3D structures. The masculine's journey is often about overcoming the fear of the heart. He has been conditioned by Earth's density to believe that vulnerability is weakness. The Arcturian frequency is currently reparenting the masculine, teaching him that his greatest strength lies in his connection to his divine counterpart. The Arcturians explain that the reunion cannot happen until these two polarities are in balance within each individual. You must find your own inner masculine, your ability to protect your boundaries and take action, and your counterpart must find their inner feminine, their ability to feel and receive. When both of you are inner balanced, the external union becomes a quantum inevitability. I once saw a couple who struggled for years because the feminine was trying to do the masculine's job. She was trying to fix him and guide him. The Arcturian council told her to stop and return to her own radiance cultivation. The moment she stepped back into her feminine power, he felt the void where her pressure used to be, and he finally stepped up into his masculine responsibility. The balance was restored, and the reunion followed shortly after. This is the sacred dance of the Arcturian soul bond. It is a constant recalibration of giving and receiving, of holding and releasing. The Arcturians are the choreographers of this dance. They are watching from the higher dimensions, ensuring that neither partner falls too far into density. They are providing the cosmic light that allows you to see each other's true faces behind the masks of the ego. The masculine is currently being hit by clarity waves. He is starting to see the futility of his 3D pursuits without the heart connection of his galactic mirror soul. The Arcturians are making his old life feel gray and empty. This is not to make him suffer, but to make him remember the color and vibrancy of your shared frequency. Stay with this, because what the Arcturian Council transmits next activates the deepest layer of your heart's mission. The ultimate truth that the Arcturian Council wants you to understand is that your love for your divine counterpart is not just personal, it is a planetary mission. You did not come to Earth just to have a happy relationship. You came here to anchor the frequency of unconditional Arcturian love into the grid of Gaia. Your vibrational reunion is a light anchor that helps lift the entire planet out of 3D density. Every time you choose love over fear, every time you choose to trust the Arcturian soul bond over the dimensional distance, you are performing light work. You are showing the rest of humanity that a different kind of love is possible. A love that is not based on possession or need, but on resonance and recognition. Your union is a quantum shift in the collective consciousness. The Arcturians say that love is the highest technology in the universe. It is the force that holds galaxies together. By embodying this love, you become ambassadors of the stars. Your relationship becomes a healing portal for others. People will look at you and your divine counterpart and feel a sense of hope and remembering. You are living examples of the New Earth template. The Arcturian Council shares the story of a couple who finally reunited after 20 years of separation. When they finally walked into a room together, the energy was so powerful that people around them began to cry without knowing why. Their shared aura was so saturated with Arcturian light that it was literally healing the room. This is what you are being prepared for. It is a love that serves the all. You must view your frequency gap through this lens. The harder the separation, the more powerful the reunion light will be. You are like a bow being pulled back. The further you are pulled, the further you will fly when the universe finally releases the arrow. Your patience is an act of divine service. You are holding the frequency for a world that has forgotten how to love. The Arcturians are inviting you to step into your full Arcturian frequency now. Don't wait for the reunion to be happy. Don't wait for the reunion to start your mission. Start it now. Be the love you want to receive. Be the peace you want to feel. When you become the living embodiment of Arcturian love, the universe has no choice but to bring your divine counterpart to your side. Like attracts like. This is the final activation. The Arcturian Council is surrounding your heart field with a shield of gold-white light. You are protected. You are guided. You are loved beyond measure. The vibrational reunion is not a dream. It is your destined reality. Walk forward with the quiet authority of a starseed who knows exactly who they are and who they are meant to love. If this message impacted your life, leave your like, comment your reflection, and share with others. Each of you is part of this chain of light.